First time, yeah. First time, right thumbs on top? Yeah, okay. Perfect. Well, there's a study that was done and it says you are very smart. Who had their left thumbs on top? Well, the study says that you are very sexy. Now, did anyone have both thumbs together? Did anybody have both thumbs together? On Zoom, maybe? Wow, well, if you did, then the study says you're smart and sexy. So, you know, hey. So I wanted to have you go through that little process just to show you how something as small as that, when we change and we shift in our lives, how we can start to feel discomfort, right? Because we all live in comfort zones. We all do. Even if we're growing and we're changing and moving forward in our lives, we are living in comfort zones.
And can I share something real quick?
Yes.
I didn't have a problem with the thumbs, but when I was thinking about switching thumbs, my other fingers got confused. So it has a ripple effect.
Yeah, so Judy shared that all her other fingers kind of got confused as she was trying to switch, so yes. So lots of different things happens, and that shows us how it happens in our bodies, right? Not just in our thinking mind, it happens in our bodies too. So a comfort zone is a psychological state in which things feel familiar to us, right? We are at ease and we feel in control of our environment. And that's one of the key words that stood out for me, control, right? Because when we're in control, we are in our comfort zone and we don't have to think about anything else outside of that space, right? So there are three psychological states: the comfort zone, the optimal zone, or the growth zone, and what I call the scary zone. So the comfort zone encompasses many different areas in our lives. You know, it's those places in our lives where we feel very comfortable and safe. And it could be little things like just what we just did. Or as an example, the way you brush your teeth every day. You know, I've done it. Sometimes I'll purposefully try to brush my teeth with my left hand, and after a while it's like, no, that's not working, back to the right hand, you know? Or even sitting. When you all come in here, you sit in a certain spot. Have you noticed that? Most of you. I noticed some of you change around. So, but most of you will find a certain place, wherever you go, you know, to sit in. And do you stop and think through that process? Probably not. Probably not. It's an automatic behavior. And the more we do something over and over again, it becomes an automatic behavior. So, brushing the teeth, your teeth, the way you eat. I'll even, you know, sometimes we eat the rice first or the veggies first or this. Have you noticed that? You guys ever noticed that about the way you even eat? The way you hold your knife and fork, all of these things, right? So we love our comfort zones. We love living in our comfort zones. And our jobs, relationships, whether it's a friendship or an intimate relationship, right? All of those things, and even our thoughts and our beliefs. So we get into a comfort zone with how we think, how we believe about ourselves and others, and how we react to the world. We are in a comfort zone 99.9% of the time. So our mind loves it when we create comfort zones because it doesn't have to think about this process. So they say, the infamous day says that if you do something 21 times, it becomes a comfortable space to be in. Your mind accepts it and it goes, oh, wow, Tricia, Brad, Judy, you like doing that behavior. I'm gonna just put that in a file up here so that you don't have to think about it and you can move on to other things. So now it's filed in there and you don't think through the process. You just do it. You act from that space because you've done it over and over again. And that is the same thing that happens when people are trying to change behaviors and patterns in their lives, like smoking cigarettes or eating too much chocolate, which is mine. I'm still working on that one. But any of those things that become, you know, comfort zones for us, right? So any habit you can think of becomes an automatic behavior. And when that happens, what happens? When you stay in your comfort zone, what do you think tends to happen after some time?
Stagnation.
Thank you. Stagnation, right? If we stay forever in our little comfort zones, we don't grow, do we? No, we stay the same, we do the same, we believe the same, we react to the world the same way when we live in that space. So our growth is stunted. And what do you think it is that keeps us from stepping outside our comfort zone? What is it that comes to mind?
Fear.
Thank you. Fear, right? So I would say fear, obviously, is the one, maybe and the biggest thing that keeps us from stepping outside our comfort zone. Fear of the unknown. It's something that we haven't done before, something we know nothing about. Wow. I mean, I could think of, I'm very visual, I could think of so many things like, well, extreme, jumping out of an airplane, right? That's definitely an unknown for, I'd say, most of us here.
Yeah.
But once we step outside our comfort zone, once we step out through our fear and into that space, guess what happens? That space opens up now into our growth zone. And little by little, the more we take those steps, you know, changing a behavior or a pattern or the way we react to things in our life, whatever it is, it becomes our comfort zone now. And now it's our growth zone because we've grown in our awareness. We're in a new space now. And that's where we want to be. So fear dissipates, and through repetition, like everything else, you know, when you want to exercise this muscle and develop it, you go to the gym every day, right? It's the same thing. It's an inner muscle. You want to keep exercising it by doing it, and then all of a sudden, your mind accepts it, your body accepts it, your emotion accepts it on every level. It now becomes a comfortable space for you. So are there signs that tell us when it's time to grow and perhaps make changes in our lives? What do you think? Right? Yes. The most telling experiences that it's time for a change is when we feel it in our emotions and in our bodies. Has anybody here ever felt like something just sort of gnawing at them, you know, in your stomach, or maybe a thought just coming into your mind over and over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's our intuition, it's our body, it's our spirit, whatever you want to call it, speaking to us. And it always does. But I want to really focus on how we embody things. Our body holds on to every thought, every feeling, every emotion that we ever experience. And so I know it might be different spaces for you. For me, it's in my gut. You know, that's why I guess we say that gut feeling, right? So, for instance, you're in a relationship, and it could be a life partner, a friendship, a community space, whatever it is. And you begin to experience that feeling or that emotion because your partner, your friend, or whoever it is, has done something to bring an uncomfortable energy into your awareness. Or sometimes it's just a feeling. You don't know what it is. You haven't quite figured it out yet, but it's just an uncomfortable feeling that you're having, that something is wrong. Your friend, your partner, whoever it is, has done something wrong, and you just feel it. Perhaps you keep growing in awareness, and your partner, your friend is stagnant in their own growth. Now, you need to move beyond your fears and make some decisions that could force you to step outside your comfort zone and step into your optimal zone. So how can we do that gracefully or without too much turmoil? So the first step might be that we try simply communicating. And that's my motto, communication is the key, right? And by the way, in just doing that, we might be stepping outside our comfort zone just by communicating, like, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm feeling something, I'm sensing something. Can we talk about this? Well, that could be stepping outside the comfort zone for you, or maybe your partner or friend, whoever it is. Because a lot of people are not comfortable with communication, with each other being honest and speaking their truth and sharing their feelings. But how important is that? It's very important, right, that we can do that. So this might be foreign to that relationship, but that can definitely lead to the next step of decision making. And then taking action, hopefully. So this approach can just make it easier, maybe a little more graceful, starting out by communication, by speaking to that person or people or whoever it is, by sharing your feelings and your thoughts, and then taking that step. And what happens for both of you or for whoever it is? There's so much growth that happens. Now you're all in your growth zone. And isn't that where we always want to be? Expanded awareness in our growth zone. That's where I want to be. So a couple examples could be, where you've been at the same job for years and the company suddenly closed down. Or someone discovers they have a disease. And suddenly things have to change. It forces you. In other words, now you don't have that opportunity to take that little step outside your comfort zone. Now you are catapulted into what I call the scary zone, right? And that can happen. There are things that happen in life that puts it in that place. And I'd have to say that right now, the things that are going on in our world, it feels to me like it's a scary zone. I'm not stuck there, I'm not living in that space because I want to keep growing, right? But things are happening right now that are probably in that scary zone. So the sooner we realize that the only thing we have control over on this planet is ourselves, our perception, and our reaction, then we can step into a growth zone with more grace. So I want to repeat that because I think that's so important. The sooner we realize that the only thing each of us has control over on this planet is ourselves, our perception of things and our reaction to things. So our perception could be like, oh my God, what's going on out there? I'm fearful. I'm going to close my doors. I'm going to just shut my doors and stay in my house. I'm not going to talk to people. We could live in that space of what's going to happen next, what's going to happen next. Or we can choose. We get to choose. We can say, well, I have no control over what's going out there, the big picture, right? But I do have control over my reaction, over my thinking, over what energy I put out there in the world. So I'm going to sit in this quiet space and I'm going to just visualize and send love and light to everyone out there who needs it, to the people in Ukraine, to all of these things that you guys know are happening right now. And guess what? If a lot of us do that, change begins to happen. We have that kind of power. We can have that kind of effect on others and on our planet. So perception and reaction can make us step into our growth zone and have an effect on others. And then we can do that with more grace, more gracefully. So I'd like to share a personal experience where I had no choice about the big changes that were about to come into my life. And I know some of you are aware of it and how I dealt with it. So I grew up on a small island in a small village, surrounded by sugarcane fields. I never wore shoes growing up, went to school with no shoes on, great life. I kind of want to go back to that now. And I know Veronica's nodding her head there because she's familiar with it. So, living in a community where we personally had no electricity for a long time. I had to bring, as a kid, I would bring water in a bucket on my head, from the street pipe that we could all go and get water from. Everything was dependent on each other in that community. So sugarcane fields, that was like our computer games or whatever you guys do nowadays on, on the internet all the time. Running around in the sugarcane fields and actually stealing sugarcane and peeling it with our teeth and getting all the sugar out of that. Awesome times. So, but my mother knew that in order for the children to get a good education, that we would have to leave the islands. So at 15, my parents, along with 4 siblings, made a move to America. So they had, I think they had maybe $1,000 in their pocket, and we each had a suitcase in hand, and just left that life behind. I mean, living in a house made out of cow dung and dirt, and you know, living in this community, and suddenly we stepped out of an airplane in Miami at the airport. And I remember, because on the islands you smile a lot. It's like, hi, you know, how's everything? I still think I do that nowadays. That's why I told my granddaughter, that's why I have these lines here. It's from just smiling a lot. And so I remember smiling at everyone, and I noticed people looked at me like I was really strange. And I started crying, and I looked at my mom and said, I want to go home. Nobody here smiles at you. And she was amazing. She was just like, pat you on the head, it's going to be okay. So this was my first experience of being way outside my comfort zone. And as time went on, being thrown into this new culture, this new way of life, and not having any guidance whatsoever. Can you imagine at age 15, you're not just a teenager trying to figure things out for yourself, but you're in a new culture completely. And you're speaking with a heavy accent, and you have eyebrows that meet in the middle because you don't put on makeup or plug your eyebrows or do any of that, right? So you can imagine when you went to school how the kids, you know, looking at you like, wow, what's this all about? So as a matter of fact, I let the kids, you know, because I wanted to fit in so badly, I actually let them plug my eyebrows and, you know, and tell me what kind of clothes I should wear. So as time went on, there was more and more of these experiences. But I've come to realize over my lifetime that it's because of all these experiences that I learned to keep expanding my awareness and to keep growing. And I learned to keep stepping outside my comfort zones. I also noticed that when things were new to me, like for instance, a flushing toilet, I'll never forget the whole family. You know, we're in this motel, all 5, 7 of us, and we're flushing the toilet all the time. Wow. We don't have to walk, you know, a half a mile down to the hole in the ground, you know. Anyway, so all of these experiences, though, I realized that because I grew up in that environment, I looked at life like it was an adventure. I mean, I remember climbing way up to the top of a tree and looking over the river in the sugarcane fields to see if the alligator was there. And if it wasn't, I would call all my friends and now we could go swimming. So, you know, so I think that was something that was innate within me. I always had that sense of adventure. Like, let's see what's behind that door, or, you know, I think the alligator's way over there. Let's go in the water now, you know, things like that. And so I believe I embodied that kind of energy and attitude. So the point is that if we could look at life as an adventure, I mean, aren't you excited to be here on this planet?
Yep.
I am. Aren't you excited? We're here right now today in the center in America. We don't have any wars going on right here, right? We are so lucky. So by being excited about being alive and just having an opportunity to be with each other, to share love and light and wisdom, to be with nature, which is my favorite place to be in, to be able to have all of that, you know, how can we not see life as a wonderful adventure? It's go for a hike. Wow, I wonder where that next path is going to. I've never been down that path, but I'm going to step outside my comfort zone and see where that path goes. You know, and obviously that's a metaphor for life too, right? We may not know where the next path is leading, but why not check it out. Take a step in that direction. You just never know. You never know. So perhaps it all does have to do with perception and how we view our lives. Are we looking at disruption of that comfortable space we're living in as fearful or as an opportunity to learn and grow? How we change our perception has to do with our beliefs and all the information gathered along the way throughout our life from the time of birth, and some people believe before. But everything that's filed in here, that's how we react to life. So if you want to change your perception and your belief and the way you react to life, you're going to have to go in this hard drive or filing system and go, oh, wow, I get it. When I was growing up, Mom said this, or Dad said that, or Auntie Jane said this, or, my friends said these things. And I filed it all in there, and I started behaving from those beliefs that I filed in that system. So I have to say, this is why I think I went to school almost 30 years ago and studied clinical hypnotherapy. I love it. It's a great tool. You can even learn how to do self-hypnosis or meditation. It's just being in stillness, being in that place where you can listen and go into that hard drive in that filing system and begin to notice the things that have brought you to where you are now, what you are believing, how you are reacting to your life. So by changing the beliefs we have about our lives and ourselves, we can be released from fear of the unknown, and begin to trust in ourselves and our higher consciousness and source in God, whatever you choose, right? So it's believing and trusting. We may not always have a choice as to the changes in life, but we can certainly choose how we respond. What are you choosing? What are you choosing? That's just food for thought. Take that with you. Can you pass those out? So Jeffrey's going to help pass out some sheets that I have here and some pencils. Thank you guys so much. So at home, if you have just pencil and paper, what I'd like you to do is to make 3 circles. So a circle in the center, a circle outside of that, and then a bigger circle. And the center circle is called the comfort zone. And the one right outside of that is called the growth zone. And then the bigger circle is called your scary zone. So if you can just put that down on a piece of paper, that would be awesome. Then you can join us too in the activity. And then after you have that sheet of paper, I'm gonna do a meditation. So what I would like to do is guide you into a meditation so that you can be in that stillness, in that place of tuning in to your higher self, to source, to God. And it's from that place afterwards I'm going to ask you to write a couple of things, and I'll explain that after, okay? So hang on to that, and I'm going to guide you into a meditation right now. So I'd like you to begin by taking a couple of really deep breaths. And I know you hear this all the time. Start out with taking a breath. But every single morning when I meditate and I take that first breath, I say thank you. I say thank you because I get to breathe one more day. I get to be alive one more day. And without that breath, I wouldn't be here. So I don't take it for granted. So right now, as you take that breath in, just be in gratitude for being able to breathe in and being able to breathe out and for being able to take that next breath. And now this time when you take that next breath, knowing that you have the power and the ability through your intention to have an effect on whatever you choose to say or message you choose to send. So as you breathe in, if you can send a message to your body that you're breathing in calm, relaxation, you begin to feel that calm relaxation from head to toe. And as you breathe out, you can send that intention of, I am releasing what I no longer need. And you can actually begin to feel that letting go, that release of what no longer serves you. So simply by breathing in and out, you can create a space within yourself that is calm, that is relaxing, that allows you to get out of your monkey mind and into your heart center. So with this next breath, send that intention of, I am breathing in calm, relaxation. And as you breathe out, I am releasing what no longer serves me. And the more you can feel that in your body, the more power you give it. So one more time, breathe in deeply. And feel that calm relaxation from head to toe. Take a moment as you take a few of these calm, relaxing breaths. And just scan your body, your facial muscles, your neck muscles, your shoulders. And feel that calm relaxation just spreading through those areas. And as you breathe out, you let go of tension. You let go of anything you might be holding on to. And even emotions that we hold in parts of our bodies, letting it go. And take another breath now. And as you breathe in calm relaxation, scan your back all the way down to your lower back. And if you notice any tension or tightness there, just breathe it out and let it go. It's as simple as that. Breathe it out and let it go. And bring your awareness now to your chest and your stomach. And if you notice any tension there, because we hold on a lot, we hold on to a lot in our gut, in that area. If you notice anything there, just breathe it out, release it, let it go. And begin to feel your body relaxing, your shoulders drop. And as you bring your awareness to your hips and your thighs, and by the way, when we are holding back from forward movement in our lives, our hips is where we hold on. We hold on to the emotions, to the fear of moving forward. So if you feel any tension there, just breathe it out so that your hips can relax, so that your legs can relax. So perhaps if you are thinking about stepping forward in your life, you can now be free to do that. And take one more deep breath now and feel your whole body relax. And as you breathe out, any remnants of any tension, anything you need to release, all the way down to the soles of your feet, and give it to Grandmother Earth. Just give it to Grandmother Earth. She will transform it. And now I'm going to count from 5 to 1. And with each count, I invite you to go even deeper still. If there are thoughts that come into your mind, don't push them away. Don't resist anything. Just notice them. But you don't have to do anything about them. Just kind of let them drift by. So relaxing even deeper now at 5, and all the way down to 4, deeper now at 3, and all the way down to 2, and completely and deeply relaxed at 1. And in that place of stillness, no mind, no time, I want you to think about perhaps something that has been in your awareness, maybe you've been feeling it in your body somewhere, something that you know needs to change and to shift. Maybe it's just you, or maybe it's someone else, or a situation, a job, a relationship, whatever it is. Maybe there's new opportunities that have come your way, but you're too afraid to move forward into them. Whatever it is, this is the place of power, because this is where Source, God, your higher awareness exists. And this is beyond your thinking mind, so that you can make choices and decisions that are best suited for you from this space. So take a moment. And you don't have to do anything about it right now. You just notice something that comes up that reminds you it's time to step outside your comfort zone. Good, and once you have that in your awareness, I'm going to count from 1 to 5 and ask you to bring your awareness back to this room, but I want you to immediately write in the very center of your comfort zone whatever came up for you right now that you know you need to shift and change. And then perhaps in your growth zone, maybe the step that you can take so that you or the situation can grow in awareness. And then perhaps, if you so choose, maybe the fear that could take you all the way into the scary zone. So I'd like you to take one thing or two if you like, and you're going to write in your comfort zone and your growth zone, and if you so choose, in your scary zone. So feeling that stillness, that calmness, still in touch with your higher self, going from 1 to 2 and all the way up to 3 and 4, bringing your awareness now to 5, and I'd like you to now write on that sheet that was passed out to you. So it looks like everybody's almost there. And if you're not, that's okay, you can keep writing and obviously take it home with you, something you can look at later. But I just wanted to leave you with one thought, that instead of going from, what I call A to Z, so instead of looking at the possibility of shift or change, and you are right now in your life in that comfort zone, and going all the way to the scary zone, oh my God, what can happen, what will happen, and just going to that space, perhaps with some grace, just gracefully stepping slowly, taking that next step, just taking a tiny little step. You know, I love metaphors, and one that I like to use is like when we go down to the river or lake or the ocean, you know, we want to check it to see the temperature of the water, right? So we might stick our toes in and test the water a little bit, and then we find that, oh, it's comfortable, it's not so bad, so we put our feet in, both our feet in. And then before you know it, we're all the way to the water, right, enjoying ourselves. So perhaps using that metaphor, that visual, if you will, all you have to do is stick your toes in, take that tiny little step, and you'll be surprised at how things just open up completely and how at ease you will feel. Thank you for being here today, all of you here, all of you on Zoom, and have a blessed day.
That was awesome.